McQuestion. For over 25 years, talking about things that matter with people who care. Production of McQuestion is made possible in part by individual viewers, supporters of the Foundation for Responsible Television, CF Accountants and Consultants, adding value to clients throughout the region, the University of Texas at Dallas, creating the future.
You know, refugees from the Middle East are having a difficult time, whether they're in refugee camps in Turkey, Jordan, or elsewhere. And they're also having a difficult time in parts of Europe where their sheer numbers have caused some European leaders to close their borders. Now, while the refugee problem is not as acute in America, it nevertheless raises concerns about national security, terrorism, finances, and assimilation. Those are the concerns we'll discuss on this program, so let's meet the experts. And starting by phone is Ambassador Ryan Crocker. He's a career ambassador within the U.S. Foreign Service and recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom. He was ambassador to Afghanistan, Pakistan, Syria, Kuwait, Lebanon, and Iraq. And he's also today the Dean of Texas A&M University's George Bush School of Government and Public Service. Ambassador, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back to you in just a minute. I want to introduce the people in the studio. And starting on my left is Hind Jarrah. She is Executive Director of the Texas Muslim Women's Foundation, a nonprofit that empowers, promotes, and supports women and their families. Hind, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
And next to you is Donna Duvin. She is Executive Director of the International Rescue Committee in Dallas, where they helped resettle 1,200 refugees last year. Donna, welcome.
Thank you.
And next and last but not least, A.J. Irwin. He's Managing Director of Investigations at the Yarborough Law Group. A former special agent, he led ICE homeland operations for this region, and he also oversaw all Immigration and Naturalization Service Joint Terrorism Task Force investigations for a third of the United States. A.J., welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
For that person watching, give us some sense of this immigration issue as it relates to refugees in specific and your experience in that area.
Well, the refugee crisis has been something that's gone on for many, many years. But right now, the reason that it's so prevalent in regarding Syrian or Iraqi refugees is because of all the atrocities that we see that ISIS has committed. But what happens in these refugee camps, they're huge. There's thousands and thousands of people, the majority of which have a credible fear. They're really, there's something happening where they come from. They have to leave everything, go to these camps in hope of receiving refugee status and then eventually political asylum somewhere, sometimes here in the United States. But what happens in these camps is when we send refugee officers over there to interview the people, they have a mission, and their mission is not to detect fraud or to identify terrorists. It's to process these people and get them into the system. And I've talked to several officers who have done this in the past, and when they sit down at their desk or their cubicle, the line is as far as they can see. And they have the pressure of processing these people. So they don't spend a whole lot of time talking to them. They get their basic information, they see if they meet the basic requirements, they have a credible fear, what it's based on, and then they move on to the next person. So this process is very rapid, and the mission again is more service. It's not enforcement, it's not detection of fraud or national security.
So if a person in the United States was concerned about the process, there is some reason to be concerned just because of the sheer numbers. Is that correct?
That's correct. The numbers of people, and then again the pressure on these officers to process, to move people through the system, get them into the system so that they can start the process, which everybody knows if they've ever done anything with the government, nothing happens overnight. It takes a long time.
Well said. I'm glad you said it. Donna, you at the International Rescue, tell us a little bit about what International Rescue does in general.
Absolutely.
And then boil it down to what you do here.
Well, the International Rescue Committee has actually been in business since 1933, and we were founded at the calling of Albert Einstein.